Hey, you know what? They do say you tend to date your father. So,
Exactly.
And case in point, she's dating her
sound
father.
Like brats.
Yeah. Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg Podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our savage take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the SaVeg Podcast.
Someone's a bit sick today.
I am, and I'm having, again, issues with this mic, and today's not my day.
And I told Daniel that if he gets me sick, I will kill him.
I'm on the latter end of it, though, I swear. Like, literally, so I was in Vancouver for the weekend, and that's so hot.
What did you do?
I burned my fingers.
God damn.
Why this not be working for me? I was in Vancouver for the weekend, or for like a couple days, and the weather was so nice and so beautiful. And of course, Saturday night, I'm staying at my friend's, and I start getting sick. And then Sunday, I woke up, and I was like, I had a fever, and I was like, just not in a good place. I was like, fuck, I just want to go out and enjoy this weather, and like, you know. And then I came back, and I'm definitely on the tail end of it. I'm feeling a lot better now. That's why Rose gave me permission to come to her house and record today.
Otherwise, that would not have happened.
Because we were going to record yesterday. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, I should probably have another day of like rest because I sounded worse yesterday than I do now. So I'm definitely...
Yeah, you were like, yeah, let's record. I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to the SaVeg Podcast. Just a quick reminder to join us as a member, either on YouTube or on Patreon. So the membership benefits are every week you get the episode a week before everybody else.
You do?
You get ad-free content, and every month you get one bonus exclusive episode only for the members. So if you are listening or watching on YouTube, make sure you click that join button to see the benefits, or you can go to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Okay, so today,
Perfect.
apparently Daniel's in a
Guys,
sensitive place.
I'm in an emotional place.
So apparently he doesn't want to talk about news.
Well, we can talk about a bit of stuff. Like, obviously, there's some things we're going to talk about, but then we might just do a few Am I the Asshole stories and go from there. What do you think about that, Roses?
Well, apparently it has only been a week since the Canadian elections.
God damn.
That's kind of crazy because I feel like it's been at least 2 weeks, but apparently it was just last week and we were just talking about it on the day of the election.
And that shit is dividing nations. It is like, it's funny because me and Rose were talking about this as the elections were happening and stuff. And I mean, I have a wide array of friends I've met over my life or whatever. And I didn't realize that some of them are so strongly opinionated on certain things.
Well, I think people have become more opinionated over the past few years.
Yeah. And like, if you guys didn't know, the Liberals won.
Yeah, the Liberal Party won.
Yep.
So last week we were kind of talking about it. We were unsure, right?
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
We cast our votes.
We cast our votes and you voted Liberal?
Conservative.
I voted Liberal, and that was the first time. I usually vote NDP.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people were in the same camp as me that voted that normally vote NDP, which is, by the way, if you don't know Canadian politics, NDP is more left wing of the Liberal Party.
Right.
Liberal Party is kind of like the Democrats of Canada, and they're kind of like more center, little bit left, but more central. Whereas Conservatives are obviously on the right. And I normally vote NDP because I'm more left wing. But this time, because NDP usually, like, NDP doesn't really have a chance at winning the actual like election of, you know, like they don't have a chance of becoming the prime minister, basically. Yeah. But the Liberals do, right? It's usually the Liberals or Conservatives. And this time we just could not risk, a conservative win. Yeah. So a lot of people, and it's kind of sad because NDP, a lot of them lost seats.
Definitely.
But at the same time, it was like kind of a necessary vote.
They say a lot of people actually fear voted. So like,
yes,
again,
that's what I did.
Yeah. They were like, they didn't want what's going on in the US. Obviously the US is an absolute shit show right now with Trump in power. And people are like, we don't want a Trump 2.0 here in Canada. So like, there's been a lot of like discussion around it. And like, I think people, to your point, like that maybe voted Green Party or NDP or even Bloc Québécois. Like, they're like, I'm not going to vote for these parties right now. I need to vote Liberal because I'm not going to risk a Trump 2.0 situation. But it's interesting because like our province
We're in the Texas of Canada.
We're the Texas of Canada, guys. Our province is always going to be conservative, I feel like. And even though we cast our votes, we still, I think it was Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia were all
majority.
They were blue.
Really? British Columbia too?
I think they were. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah. I could be. Can you like maybe?
BC would probably be divided. I would imagine.
But I seem to remember seeing a map and it showed the 3 provinces that were like they were conservative.
Yeah.
And then all the other ones were red, like liberal. And then people were like saying like it's funny how obviously people that are part of the Conservative Party and they wanted the Conservatives to win. They're like, oh, how funny is it that the provinces that are getting all those equalization payments from us are the ones
you're right. It's mostly blue, BC. Yeah. Fucking BC too. What the hell's going on there? No, but look at is that Saskatchewan? Saskatchewan's kind of divided.
Yeah, it is.
That's kind of surprising.
Alberta's not divided at all.
Well, Alberta, it's funny because actually, I think my vote actually counted for something. No, is that Edmonton? Oh yeah, that's Edmonton. Never mind. Yeah. So, the thing is, wait, is it red? Is this R? No, wait. Oh yeah!
Oh my God! Okay, our votes counted.
So by the way, like we mentioned last week, so in Canada, the Liberal Party is red and the Conservatives are blue. So it's opposite of America.
Yeah.
And so in our province, literally, it's like all blue. Okay, so it's all conservative, except for usually Edmonton votes NDP. I think there's like a little one section that's NDP, and then one section that's liberal, and then usually Calgary is fully blue, right? Yeah. It's always conservative. So I always joke like I'm gonna go and like cast my like fucking useless vote.
Yeah.
But this time, our like region of the city, our voting area, what is it called? Like block?
Constituency?
No. I don't know. Maybe. We actually won. Liberals.
Which is crazy. I kind of could see it because like in my area, if you recall, there's so many people that have posted liberal signs.
Yes, because we live in Central as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay. But like everywhere else in Calgary is so blue. But you know what? We actually, our little area. Yeah. So.
Yay! But either way.
Yeah.
So it's the reason why this is like a big deal is because in the beginning of the year, like literally, oh goddamn, bless you.
Bless me. Sorry, guys.
In the beginning of the year, it was basically, we've talked about this, basically Conservatives were going to win 100%. There was no chance in hell that Liberals were going to win.
100% no.
And then 2 things happened. Justin Trudeau stepped down and Donald Trump became president.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, oh goddamn, you be all right there.
I'll be fine. I just be getting a little tickle in my nose.
And then Donald, those 2 things happened. And then everyone like freaked out and now we got a Liberal win, which is kind of historical.
Yeah, I think we're seeing also too though with everything going on with Trump and down south of the border, it's like there's just so much shenanigans and like just craziness that's happening. And I've seen a lot of interviews of Donald Trump and like obviously we're only going on the last, I don't know, he's been in power for like what, 100 days, 150 days?
A little over 100 days, I think.
Something like this. And they're interviewing him and he made these promises to the Americans like, I'm going to bring costs down, the economy is going to be better than ever, all of this stuff, right? And so some reporters have been interviewing him and been like, because the what am I trying to say? The numbers don't lie, right? So you can look at the facts and say, okay, well, when is this supposed to happen, Mr. Trump? Like, groceries are at an all-time high, gas prices have skyrocketed, and this is like based on actual figures, and tourism has plummeted to the U.S. Like it's gone off of a deep dive to the point that there's been like some hotel chains and stuff that have been like laying off people and all this stuff that are American workers, and people are like asking him, and he's just so like in his own world. He's like, if we just remove the imports from the economy, our economy's thriving. It's just absolutely thriving. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What world are you living in?
Exactly. Like, when is this all supposed to happen? And I watched this really good thing because his whole thing is about these manufacturing jobs, blah, 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 all this shit about manufacturing jobs. And it's like, the manufacturing jobs of the old are gone.
Yeah.
A lot of it is automated now. There's not really, even if they bring the factories back to the US, half of the shit is automated by machines anyway. It's not going to bring back a ton of jobs, right? Like,
exactly.
It might bring back some, but like seriously, it's just like, it's crazy. So the whole thing is just, anyway.
They're not going to bring back manufacturing jobs. Yeah, even there was someone that was being interviewed and they were like, we're basically just going to use like AI and use robots. Like, because like, why wouldn't you? Like,
exactly.
Of course these companies would. they're not going to fucking hire people if they can use machines
Exactly.
to do exactly what the people are doing. So maybe they'll hire like a few people in a factory to like oversee the machines, but it'll be mostly machines and
Exactly
not
that.
exactly. It's just a different time as well.
Exactly.
It's, you know, you can't compare fucking 1940s America to now.
Exactly. We're in a globalized economy, like every single country, and it's like doing these things. But anyway, long story short, so I'm super happy about Canada, Liberals winning.
I'm happy that Conservatives didn't win.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm meaning.
Well,
like,
we got a Liberal minority government.
Yeah.
Which people say it's actually a good thing because that means like with the Liberal, that means they do have to have the NDP and work with the NDP to, you know, get things passed and like get things going. Whereas if we just have a Liberal majority, then like Liberals can do kind of like what they want.
Yeah.
And whereas like if we have a Liberal minority with the NDP kind of like filling the extra seats, then we can maybe do even more left-wing things and more kind of, you know, things for the people.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I think also too, what I was going to say, I forgot now. I lost my train of thought about the Liberals. No, I was just going to mention about how I think it's funny. Well, I feel like people are becoming more divided than ever on politics. And it's interesting because like I've seen friends of mine, like people I've met through life that aren't like close friends of mine, but like I was at one point, you know, okay friends with them. And I've seen like literal battles on Facebook.
Really? Like people fighting?
People fighting. This one of my...
You were sending me. It was so
I know.
funny.
I sent you screenshots. My one friend from university who was always this like such sweet lady. I don't know what happened, but
nothing. She was raised in Alberta.
This is true. But then she was like writing all this stuff about how this is like a detriment about the Liberals. And then one of her friends is a Liberal and was posting stuff about the Liberals.
Oh.
And then she started tagging this other person and being like, what do you say about this? ? Look what the Liberals have done to our country. Blah, blah, blah. All this shit. It turned into an all-out battle. I mean, I was living for it. I mean, I wasn't living for it, but I was like...
entertaining.
It was entertaining, but I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck? And they keep talking about like all this shit, like housing and all this stuff. And I'm like, guys, we've talked about this a million times, okay? No matter what government's in place, Liberal, Conservative, NDP, whoever is elected, until there's laws passed by government, whatever the political party, and the Conservatives would be the least likely to do this anyway out of all of them. But unless laws are passed to stop treating housing as an investment and a way to make profit, we're never going to deal with this crisis. Like it's never going to be, it's never going to be dealt with. So,
God damn your throat.
I'll be pulling a rose. And normally it's you with the little throat issues.
You didn't send me the screenshots of the fat. I would have loved to see that.
I know. I think they've unfriended each other on Facebook.
Of
now.
course they have.
So,
well, I think also like the fact that you were on Facebook and the whole rant was on Facebook tells me everything I need to know. You know.
Yeah.
Everything on Facebook, I'm just like, oh, this is like where dreams go to die and fucking. Mega is made. Okay.
Oh my God, I know.
I just can't.
Like this whole mega thing, I'm just like, oh my fucking God.
Did you hear that Australians also had an election and similar, exact same thing happened? So, well, we forgot to mention for the Canadian election, Pierre Poilievre, who was the leader of the Conservative Party, he actually lost his own seat.
Yeah.
In his fucking, what is it called? Riding?
In his riding. Yeah.
So not only did he lose the election, he lost his own seat. Like you have to be fucking unpopular to lose your own seat.
Yeah.
But he lost his own seat. And exact same thing basically happened in Australia in their election. So they also had basically, I think in the beginning of the year, they also had a pretty popular Conservative government.
Right.
And it also kind of shifted to basically Liberals becoming more popular. And the Liberals won, I think like pretty much by a landslide, even more than us, I think.
Yeah.
And the person that the leader of the Conservatives, they also lost their seat.
That's so funny. But I heard someone for Pierre Poilievre, someone gave up their seat for him.
Yeah, what the actual fuck? And then everyone's like, Pierre Poilievre, because the entire time he was complaining about the fact that Mark Carney was unelected.
Yeah.
And now he's literally taking a handout.
Yeah. Basically,
somebody gave up their seat to give to fucking Pierre Poilievre, and Pierre Poilievre graciously accepted.
Of course
he
did.
accepted a fucking charity seat.
Yes.
Where, this is the fucking government of, anti-DEI, anti-fucking, you have to work hard to get your place in life, blah, blah, blah. And then he's fucking taking a seat when he fucking lost the election.
I know.
Please.
Again, I'll go back to it always. Republicans, conservatives always want their cake and have their cake and eat it too.
Yep.
Like until it impacts them, they'll be like
Yeah.
so against something, and then as soon as it's like to their benefit,
Exactly.
like, oh no, who gives a fuck about it? I'm gonna do it. So
Anyways.
it's like so hypocritical.
I know. So we're a little less screwed with the liberals. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
But we're still, I mean, guys, we're still in the midst of this
I
like
know.
impending fucking trade war globally. Like nobody knows what's going on right now.
Nobody.
It's so uncertain. There's like tariffs being thrown up the wazoo.
Yeah. I've decided to ignore it.
I know. I mean, you're like one of those ostriches that just stick your head in the sand.
I think that's the way forward. I
Yeah.
feel like, the whole, like you have to be aware of world issues. You know what? Why?
I know.
Like it doesn't change anything if I am.
Sometimes I wish I could just bury my head in the sand
Yeah.
too. But I'm like on TikTok and I'm hearing all these things.
know.
And I'm like, I need to do a little bit more research to substantiate some of this. But like, I just need to understand, like, because I keep hearing mixed things like tariffs on, tariffs off, renegotiating, not negotiating.
Yeah.
Now China's buying like a ton of oil from Canada, but now they're also doing this or China's buying this and doing this. And they've, the States has tried to like renegotiate with China. They don't want to negotiate. Like, I don't even know what the hell's going on.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like, I don't care anymore because every week it's a different story and I just need to focus on my life.
Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. I'm actually in some ways, like, this sounds terrible because obviously this is impacting us all globally on a global scale and it's really fucking scary. But I think there's a part of me that takes a little bit of sick pleasure in the fact that Trump was so egotistical in thinking that he could do all of these like trade policies across the world to a bunch of different countries and think that there would be no repercussions and that everyone would just bow down to the US. And I think he's realizing that now, almost like backstepping and being like, shit, actually,
I can't
do that. Like, because now there was a clip of him being like, we're, trade negotiations are open with China.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, like a week ago, you were saying you're going to slap 145% tariff.
Exactly.
And I'm seeing lots of like business owners in the US, like small business owners being like, this is going to destroy my business. Like literally the shipments coming in next week and I'm going to owe 80,000 in like tariffs. Like it's just insanity.
It's crazy.
Like, so I think that there's going to be like in the next little while, and people are saying too, and again, this is stuff that I need to substantiate because I haven't like done enough research, but there were people on TikTok being like, the Walmart shelves are going to be empty because a lot of the stuff comes from like China and like there's going to be a lot of problems because I guess China's like not shipping as much to the US now because they're pissed, right? Like they're like,
they ruined the relationship.
Exactly. So I mean, they said it really well. We talked about this in a previous episode, but we said how China was saying about how that this will obviously hurt the US. It's going to hurt China as well, but like
way more the US.
Way more the US, yeah.
Yes.
Because they're pissing. And look at even just like for them tourism, right? Like I'm not saying that tourism is like the number one industry for the US, but it's a huge industry for them. And that literally has fallen off of a shelf. And in some ways, I think it will be interesting to see once we see some of the numbers of other countries, such as Canada, such as Mexico, Europe, because a lot of people are saying like, we're diverting our family vacations to other locations now. Like we're going to go to Southeast Asia, or we're going to go to Europe, or we're going to go to Mexico, or we're going to go to Canada. So it'll be interesting to see if our tourism booms during this time.
I would imagine so, especially, during COVID, for example, when you couldn't really leave the country, Canadian tourism amongst Canadians like grew.
Boomed, yeah.
I thought, a lot of people came to Banff, for example.
True.
And so, yeah, if you're Canadian, you might as well travel within Canada.
Well, and if you think about it from a cost perspective, both from people outside of Canada and within Canada, for us to travel within our own country is way cheaper than going to the US because the dollar exchange ratio. And also for people visiting from other countries, the Canadian dollar is obviously weaker than the
cheaper.
US. So it's going to be cheaper for them to go on vacation.
Yeah, come to Canada.
Yeah, come visit us,
nice.
guys. It'd be nice
It'd
as
be nice as
hell.
hell. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
God
I've kind of
damn.
stopped paying attention. I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of want to stop paying attention. I'm just like,
I think maybe I started spending less time on TikTok.
That's a
I've been
good
really
call.
trying to stick to the 1 hour max.
ooh,
And some
Rose.
days I've spent less than 1 hour a day. I know, slow clap. But I was like, okay, because before it was bad. And I was like, I feel like this is bad for my brain, my mental health.
So when you say
everything.
bad, Rose, can you like quantify like what? Give the
There were
audience.
some days when I would be spending maybe like probably the worst was probably like 3 hours.
3
Like
hours.
if I'm home all day, like instead of watching TV, for example, or I'd have TV on in the background and just fucking scroll. You know how it is.
I do know how it is because
Like,
that's
it's not like it's bad.
it is. And you know what? we've talked about this before. Oh my God, 3 hours. That is a lot, Rose.
I know, it's so bad.
God damn. Because I do.
And that's just on TikTok.
Yeah. Because I've done I do the 1 hour limit. I have it on mine right now.
Uh-huh.
And there's a few days where it's like I'll get to the 1 hour and I extend
And
it
then
for
you extend it.
for just the 15 minutes though. And then I stop after that. I've never exceeded an hour and
Really?
15. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very rarely. It would be like a really one-off. But what I find is I also do this is like I'll be watching TV and then scrolling and I've tried to stop that because I've noticed too, like if I want to just like if I'm just at my house and I'm like, okay, even yesterday like I wasn't feeling the best, so I'm like I'm just gonna pick a movie to watch. It took me hours to figure out what movie I want to watch. I'm like, this is not good. I have no attention span.
And I also think it's just like entertainment's just not, I think maybe because of the short form content and the doom scrolling, other things are just like not as fun and it's not as exciting. It's not as, like a movie is more boring because with TikTok, it's like within 30 seconds, you get a new thing of content.
Yeah.
It's fresh. It's new. It's, it's designed to get us hooked.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine getting that every like 30 seconds, every minute. And if you're bored, you can just swipe through. So compare that to like a 2 hour long movie where there's going to be, a long fucking, scene that might not be as entertaining.
Exactly.
And so we've gotten used to this kind of immediate kind of dopamine hit, this immediate entertainment. So anything else feels kind of boring.
I know, but one thing I'm really excited about is the weather is starting to get nicer now.
We just need to go outside.
Exactly. And I'm really excited because one thing I want to do, obviously not right now because I'm fucking sick person right now, unfortunately. Sorry, Rose.
Oh God!
I really hope I don't get Rose sick. Honestly, guys, I will not.
You will not hear the end of it.
I'll have to send you guys the read receipts or the whatever they're called, the receipts, because Rose will blow me up. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I can't wait to start jogging again, being out there, going for walks. I love going for like long walks in the summertime, just to get out of the house. And actually, there's some good shows on right now that it's funny because like even last night when I was like looking for stuff to watch, I was just like going through all the movies and fucking just like doing nothing and still probably scrolling TikTok as I'm looking for a movie to watch. But there's a couple of shows that came out and I'm just like haven't started them yet, but I'm like, because I'm like distracted and I'm like, I need to be fully focused, but I'm like, I could just watch them. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with me, why I just don't do it.
Because we're all ill in the head.
I know. I'm like, I'm actually like fucked up in the head.
Anyway, on that positive note, let's get into Am I the Asshole?
God damn, Rose, you didn't want to hear me whine more about my...
I think we've whined enough.
God damn. I'm so proud of our constituency. I'd be proud as
I know, our vote
hell.
actually counted. Well, it's funny because our area... It kept on election day. It kept going back and forth between conservative, liberal.
So I think it was
liberal.
close.
So it was very close, but it looks like it won. I'm not positive if that's the exact what happened, but
I think it is.
Looks like it. That seems to be the final.
I'm gonna blindly
believe it.
Yeah, just to make myself feel better and feel like what I'm gonna think, Rose. We actually won by 2 votes, mine and yours.
Oh goddamn. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'll read mine. How about for this episode, you can pick the next one, but I'll read it for you.
Okay.
Because your throat is a little,
I can still read.
I don't know, Daniels.
My throat's actually not sore. Like I told Rose before I came here, all of this is sounding worse than I actually feel.
Well, it might be a bit hard to listen to, but it's okay.
God damn, it's a raspy kind of sexy voice.
Oh God, it feels very especially when you're like. All right, guys, let's get into Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for not letting my neighbor's kid ruin my lawn in the name of imagination? I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood with your standard backyard, some grass, a few old trees, and a weathered shed. Sounds fancy. Nothing fancy, but I try to keep it tidy. I'm on polite but not close terms with most neighbors. We wave, sometimes chat about the weather, and that's about it. There's a family 2 doors down with a boy who's about maybe 9 or 10. Lately, he's gone full pirate mode, and I mean fully committed. Eye patch, cardboard sword, yelling, "Yeah, be cursed." What? At squirrels. Honestly, pretty wholesome at first. Then I started noticing small holes in my backyard, or in my yard. Just little ones near the fence. I assumed it was raccoons, but then the holes got bigger. One morning I went out and found the ground behind my shed completely torn up with clumps of grass tossed around and a map pinned to the tree with a stick. Eventually I caught him out there mid-dig. I asked him what he was doing and he straight up said, "I'm hiding my treasure. No one must know. This is the perfect hiding spot."
Oh my God.
I told him calmly, hey, this is my yard. You can't dig here. He got a little huffy, but ran off. I figured that was the end of it. Nope. Next day, there's a new hole, bigger, a tin lunchbox half buried behind the shed. I dig it all up, and it's full of Pokemon cards, fake jewels, toy coins, and a few crumpled $5 bills. I bring it up to his mom and explain what is going on.
Yeah.
She immediately gets defensive. No apology, just a heavy sigh and, well, he's just using his imagination. I think it's sweet. I told her I didn't mind the creativity, just not in my yard. She rolled her eyes and said, can't you just let him have this? It's not like your grass is that nice anyway. That one actually stunned me. I said as politely as possible that I didn't want holes being dug on my property by someone else's kid. I handed over the box and left. That night, she sends a long text telling me I humiliated her son, crushed his imagination, and created an environment where children can't feel safe being children. She said he cried over an hour. Oh my God. And now thinks I'm the villain in his story. Her words. I didn't reply. I get it. He's a kid. I didn't yell. I didn't shame him. And I even gave back the stuff. I'm not thrilled about my yard being turned into a sandbox and getting insulted for not being okay with it. So am I the asshole for drawing a line and not entertaining a pirate storyline that involved my yard getting wrecked?
Oh, you know what this is?
This is
one of the obvious not the asshole.
But I'm going to have to ask everybody
I
to
know.
confirm, even though you're fucking obviously not the asshole, but you're an asshole for writing this.
I know. You're an asshole. Sorry, but you are. Like, I'm sorry, but like
obviously you're not the fucking asshole.
Exactly. It's your yard. It's your backyard. If anybody, regardless if they're fucking 2 years old, somebody's dog even, somebody's fucking cat, whatever, is digging holes in your yard, that's your property, right?
Yes.
Like they're not supposed to be on there unless they ask permission. Like obviously if you asked and said, hey, there's a really cool spot, I want to dig my treasure. And then you're like, sure, that's different.
Yeah.
But like,
God, this is what happens when you let your kid do whatever they want with no consequences.
What do they call it again?
Like gentle parenting.
Gentle parenting, right? Oh, just let kids be kids.
Oh yes, let them have their imagination. Yeah, with no boundaries, no thanks.
Yeah, it's like you can't just go around going into people's yards or houses and fucking doing whatever you feel like just because you're playing some pirate adventure.
Exactly.
Pirates of the fucking Caribbean.
No wonder he's that way, because his mom is just like letting him do whatever the fuck he wants.
And I think part of the problem is the parents, right? Like the parents of these kids.
That's the number one problem.
Yeah, I'm like, you should not be allowing your kid to do this. Like my parents would kill me.
Exactly. Oh my God. If I was doing that, fucking hell, there's no fucking way.
I know. Like they would be like, excuse me, you're fucking grounded.
My little Korean ass would be fucking beat.
I know. They get the belt. They get the belt out.
I mean, obviously not the asshole. Someone said not the asshole. His mom needs to teach him respect, to respect other people's property. You don't get to do whatever the hell you want as a kid in the name of using your imagination. Yeah, like you could still say you can use your imagination, but you can't like ruin somebody else's fucking yard.
Why doesn't he fucking just do it in your yard, in his yard?
Exactly. Oh my God, I actually cannot. Somebody wrote,
I would be so mad if that was like my neighbor and it was their kid and I went to talk to the mom and the mom was like, he's just a kid, let him use his imagination. I would be way more like not as nice as this lady. I wouldn't be a dick per se, but I'd be like, absolutely, he can be a kid in your yard, dig up your yard, do whatever the fuck he wants, not in my yard.
Yeah, not my fucking yard. It's my fucking. Somebody wrote, not the asshole. You might consider responding along these lines. It's unfortunate that your child reacted so strongly to my reasonable expectations concerning my property. Your child damaged my lawn repeatedly. I haven't asked you to repair any damage. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like you could probably ask them to like pay for the repair because like a yard. I was trying to say yard and lawn at the same time.
I love it. A yawn.
A yard,
like
it's not cheap to maintain. Like you still, I mean, it might be cheap but it's work to maintain. Yeah, like it's not like fully just. Well, you just leave it to be and it's maintained.
Exactly. And if he's digging up the grass and stuff, maybe the grass is dead now. You have to you have to resod.
Oh no. I mean, obviously not the asshole, but he's an asshole for fucking writing it.
Yeah. So you're the asshole for writing.
Oh my God, somebody damaged my property and I said something. Am I the asshole? Like fuck. You gonna be able to read it, Daniels?
I think so.
You'd be sounding like a patient.
Am I the asshole for refusing to let my daughter's fiancé stay in our guest room because I use it for my hobby?
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Daughter's fiancé.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a male, 49 years old. Might be in the wrong here, but I honestly don't think I am and would love to hear some outside perspectives. My daughter, she's 23 years old, female, got engaged recently and came to visit us with her fiancé, 24, male. We live a few states away, so I get that traveling is tired, but we were happy to host for the weekend. Now, I've had my guest room set up for my miniature wargaming for the past few years. It's my space where I go to decompress after work, and it's honestly the only spot in the house that's fully mine. My wife has the sunroom, and the rest of the house is kind of communal. I've got thousands of dollars of models in there, custom terrain, a 3D printer setup, etc. It's not just a hobby; it's an investment, and frankly, a form of art. His words, not mine. Anyway, when they arrived, I had the office couch made up for them. Pull out, memory foam, decent blanket, very clean. My daughter seemed fine with it, but her fiancé kind of made a face and later asked why they couldn't sleep in the guest room. I told him plainly it wasn't available because it's not a guest room anymore. It's my studio. Later that night, my daughter confronted me privately and said I was being selfish and ridiculous and that's just for 2 nights. She said they felt unwelcomed and like I was prioritizing plastic figurines over family. I told her that's not fair. They have a place to sleep. It's not like I made them sleep on the floor. Now my wife is giving me the cold shoulder.
Oh my God.
And said I could have just packed it up for the weekend. But again, it's not like these are toys you can just throw into a box. Some of them are fragile. Some of them are half painted. And I don't want to spend days reorganizing and then undoing all that work just because they didn't like the setup. They left a day early, and now I'm getting texts from my daughter about how I chose my hobby over her happiness, which just seems dramatic to me. I might be the asshole because maybe I could have moved some stuff around for a few nights, but I really don't think it's fair to expect me to dismantle my entire setup just because someone didn't want to sleep on a perfectly good pullout. I have right to my space too, right?
You know what my verdict is?
What's your verdict?
Everyone's the fucking asshole.
I think it's an ESH.
Yeah, everyone sucks here.
So I think there's so many things happening. Okay,
God.
Rose, what are your thoughts? Tell us your thoughts.
Well, literally everybody sucks.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, this is your daughter and, you know, your daughter's fiance. It kind of makes sense that they would kind of want to stay in the guest room. Although if I was a guest personally, I wouldn't demand to stay in the guest room. I would happily just stay in the motherfucking, whatever the fuck is available.
What's being offered? It's like, if they're like, hey, the guest room is full of shit, so here's a bed for you to sleep on.
I'd be like,
okay,
whatever,
cool.
it's fine. But at the same time, I might talk to my parents and be like, hey, like, can't we just sleep in the guest room? Like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is the daughter's fiance. They just got engaged. Maybe she wants the fiance to be comfortable. The fiance is the fucking asshole because why the fuck are you demanding that you sleep wherever? Like, if I was the fiance, I'd say nothing. Like, if I know. Was the daughter,
oh my God, could you imagine?
Exactly. Like, if I was the daughter, I might talk to my parents.
Yeah.
But the daughter is also the asshole because what kind of a reaction is that? I would talk to my parents, but not like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is still their fucking house.
God, I couldn't even imagine going to my partner's parents' place and being like, your dad's a dick because he's not letting us sleep in the guest room.
I would sleep on the fucking couch, on the fucking floor. I would just fucking take whatever I'm going to get, okay?
God, I've slept in some real rough places, guys. I can easily sleep anywhere.
It's like fucking hell. You are the fiance. You are the guest in this house. Like, come on, be like, you know, that's crazy. I think the fiance is the biggest asshole here.
Yeah.
And then the dad's also the asshole because fucking hell, it's your daughter. It's your daughter's fiance. Just clear your stupid shit for a day. It probably takes like 2 seconds and you probably don't even need to clear the whole thing. They just need to sleep on the fucking bed. There's a bed in the goddamn room. Exactly. Like, what I don't get is exactly this. He's like, oh, I have to pack everything away. It's like, no, you don't. You just have to make room for a fucking bed. It can be a bed in a fucking messy room. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if they want to sleep on the fucking bed, just be like, okay, well, just give me a second here. Let me just, move some stuff around. It's like, what is the big fucking deal? It's crazy. Everyone is literally the asshole. Everyone sucks here. The dad sucks for being, not compromising with that. I mean, if you guys have a guest room and it's supposed to be for guests, like maybe, what you should get in there is like maybe have a futon in there or maybe have like a Murphy bed or something where you can like make it your space for the most time. And then if guests come, you can kind of like put stuff to the side and then have a bed in there as well. Fucking make it work. Like, oh, just everyone literally sucks. Everyone's a fucking asshole. I know. He's like, oh my God, God forbid I got to move my plastic figurines. You know what I have to say? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. No. God, he sounds like such a fucking man-child. Exactly. And like, where the fuck does she find another fucking man-child of a fucking fiance? Hey, you know what? They do say you tend to date your father. So, exactly. And case in point, she's dating her father. They all sound like brats. Yeah. And they're all fucking annoying. God. Who cares? It's a place to sleep. Like, I'm just happy to sleep anywhere. Whatever. Literally. Okay, so let's see. Someone put info. Why do you keep a bed in that room if you don't want anyone to sleep in there? Yeah. Why do you even call it the guest room? Call it your fucking toy room. Exactly.
And then someone put, this is the only question worth answering. To be honest, the whole story reads as fake unless we get photos of the room in question. The responses from the original poster below simply don't make sense. If there's a room for a bed, then what is the problem? Also, no one in the history of miniatures has ever needed to sleep in the room when they have a perfectly good room in the same house. I don't know, get that. But,
Okay.
What else? You're the asshole. You made them sleep on a pull-out couch when there was a perfectly usable king-size bed being unused. My husband and I my husband is in the middle of painting his first 40K army, so I get it.
Okay.
What the I guess
this is like toy talk.
I know. I'm like,
They're talking about whatever this world is.
I'm guessing 40K means like 40,000 soldiers that he's painting. That's fucking insane.
Hey, people have hobbies.
This is true. But you will still need to balance it with your interpersonal connections. You likely just assured that your daughter will deprioritize spending time with you. Be prepared for the fact that she'll likely spend time with her in-laws over you and your wife over the holidays since you lack the care to make them feel comfortable. Also, be prepared for the fact that you're going to make your wife resent you. I couldn't imagine putting a hobby before my kids being comfortable.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It is. The whole thing is weird.
Thing's weird.
But I also think that the daughter and the fiance suck too.
Yeah.
Like everybody sucks there. It's
literally
like
everybody sucks because
no one wants to make compromise. It's like the daughter and the fiance could have just been happy with the pull-out bed.
Yeah.
You know, great. We got a place to stay. Awesome. We're staying with my parents. But also on the flip side, the dad could have cleared away some of his things if they were feeling more comfortable and put them up in the fucking toy room.
God, everyone's saying
These
you're the asshole though.
children.
Not many people are saying everyone sucks here, but I think everybody sucks.
especially the fiance.
Yeah, it's like, come on, just don't say anything.
Oh my god,
it's for a couple nights.
Exactly. I could not. The cringiness of like going to my in-laws' house and complaining that we're not sleeping in the guest room and we're in a futon that's perfectly fine for us to sleep on. Like, oh my god, I would freak. I just couldn't. And if my fiance did that to my parents, oh my god.
Let's see what it says.
I'd be having different words.
Hold on, let's see. Oh, the fiance kind of made a face and later asked why we couldn't just. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
There's no fucking way. I would be like, if they gave me a fucking mattress on the floor, I'd be like, great. Fantastic. But maybe later on I talk to my fiance being like, is there a reason not to bug your parents, but like
this sounds like something, and this might sound a bit racist, guys, but I think it's probably a white couple.
Yeah, oh my god, an Asian
I was gonna say it would not happen
Asia
in a
would
Korean
never.
household.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Then there would be no more fiancés.
No.
Okay.
They definitely wouldn't. I feel like a lot of other cultures, I feel like sounds like a Western white culture, like entitlement thing.
It totally, because like Asians, especially like Koreans, for example, there's such like a hierarchy of like age and respect for the elders.
Yeah.
There's no way you would question anything that your in-laws do.
No.
Unless obviously within reason, right?
Yeah, within reason.
Yeah, let's see here.
But like something like that, you would just be like, great, thanks for the futon.
I'd be like, thanks.
I'm really appreciative for a place to stay.
Exactly. Let's see.
You picking a good one, Roses?
Sure. Am I the asshole for reminding my friend he makes 8 times more than me? Oof, money.
Oof.
The key to every healthy friendship.
Yeah.
Discussions of money. Okay. Background. My job doesn't pay the best, but I love the work. I obviously would like to be paid more. I was a listening ear to my friend a few years ago when he was looking for jobs. I heard him list all the pros and cons of each option, including the salary. So I know what his starting pay was at the one he settled on, and it's literally 8 times more than my annual salary. 8 times more.
That's insane.
Like, so what are you making?
Like, are you making like 10,000 a year or something? Like, like, okay, so if she's making.
Wait a second. Okay, let's say it was like, I don't know, 30K a year, right?
Yeah.
So 8 times more, like 240K.
That's insane.
So if you're making 30K, which is like not a lot.
No.
And like that's like poverty, I think.
Yeah, it is in most places now, which is crazy.
Yeah. Then that means your friend is like fucking top, 5%.
Top dollar. Make me
Let's
holler.
see. Okay. So the friend is making God, 8 times more. Okay.
Yeah.
Our friendship is not influenced at all by our salary differences. Are you sure about that?
Well, that's why you're right. That's why you're writing this whole thing about how he makes 8 times more than you. Anyway, continue.
We always split the bill, never pay for each other except birthdays, all of which has worked well. I even house sit, he has a cat, for him for free when he is away. Now that he's settled into his job, a job he will probably have until retirement, he has been complaining about it to me more and more. I listen, but I can't say I completely sympathize, mainly because I know I would happily deal with those problems if I got paid like him. He definitely is aware of how little I get paid because he has tried to help me look for new jobs, and I've commented on if the jobs paid more or less than my current salary. We do not work in the same fields. I don't know what that means. Okay, hold on. So he definitely is aware of how little I get paid because he's tried to help me look for new jobs. And
she comments.
They've commented. Sure.
Yeah.
The incident. When we were hanging out, we discussed about wanting to go to this particular thing on a weekday/work day. I brought up how my job is pretty flexible and I can be available after a certain time. He says, wow, you're so lucky. I could never. Then we kept discussing this thing and he kept reiterating how lucky I was and how it sucks that he can't. I eventually got annoyed and said, dude, you literally make 8 times more than me. Would you say to an unemployed person, you are so lucky to have free time?
Wow.
After that, things got awkward and he hasn't been messaging me. Am I the asshole for reminding him of that? Oh, okay. So we were right. So there's an edit. By 8 times, I mean, I was making $30K a year and he's making $240K a year.
Rose,
wow. I don't know how I just felt like, okay, so this person's making like less than ideal. I don't know.
That's like basically minimum wage, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Because 30K a year is about 15 an hour.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. My job, okay, edit 2. My job isn't sunshine and butterflies. People who do exactly what I do have been actively trying to unionize. I just chose to look on the bright side, but there are lots of complaints about my job. Also, it is not as flexible as commenters are perceiving it is. The flexibility comes from a good relationship with the boss, and coming in on the weekends to make up for the work. Edit 3. Although commenters are asking and assuming, I will not disclose the salary for many reasons. Didn't you just do that?
Just
Wait a second.
It.
Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I read it wrong. It said, I mean, if I was making $30K a year, he's making $240K a year. Okay, so we don't know exactly how much they're making. Okay, so.
But I can't imagine it being like that much less than like around.
Yeah.
Because like
it must be like 30 to 40K a year.
Yeah, because even like 20K, that's like $10 an hour. Like
that's like nothing.
Yeah.
So edit 3. Yeah. Although commenters are asking, I will not disclose my salary for many reasons. I want to emphasize the disparity. 8 times is a lot. Most people aren't friends with people who make many times more than them. If I'm on minimum wage, then he is comfortable. And if I'm comfortable, then he's a millionaire. Okay. What do you think?
Oh, God damn.
What do you think, Daniel?
There'd be a lot to unpack here.
There'd be a lot to unpack.
This is tricky.
This is tricky.
Because I think, unfortunately, the reality of life is it's fucking expensive.
Sure.
And it just really sucks because I feel like people that, you know, even if you're passionate about your job and you want to like, you know, you have a career, like she's saying, like I don't know if she enjoys it for the most part or whatever.
Sounds like she does.
Yeah. But the reality is if you're not making that much money, it's so hard financially.
Well, we don't know. Because again, she's not disclosing the salary. She's not really saying that she's.
So maybe
like,
she's comfortable and he's like a millionaire.
Maybe. Because like, it doesn't sound like. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't sound. She didn't say anything about how she's struggling, right?
Because you know what the thing is,
doesn't pay the best. Is what they said.
Yeah. So this also brings up this whole concept, and this happens in relationships, but also friendships as well, which is another relationship, obviously. And I think when there's such big disparity between what people are earning, it can cause problems.
Friction, yes.
Yeah, because like I think, you know, obviously if someone's earning 8 times more than me, I'm just like, whoa, like they're going to want to do things that maybe I can't afford. So that creates rifts. Maybe they'll pay for me sometimes. I don't know. Maybe they feel obligated to because they know that I don't make much money, but then they don't want to. Like there's so many different things that like start happening, or they do pay for me and I feel guilty because I'm like, they're paying for me. So like whatever. So I think it's just like, it's just tricky. Like the money is always a fucking tricky thing because it's like not an easy answer. And, I don't know. I just don't think she should have maybe brought it up in that way. Like it sounds like she lashed out and was like, well, you make 8 times more than me, so fuck off, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, sorry, continue.
Even though he's making 8 times more than her, fair. But like the things that he's bringing up, because even whatever salary you're on, you're still going to have your pros and...
Whoops.
God damn, what the hell that be?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
The unprofessionalism.
Sorry. Continue.
You're still going to have your pros and cons, right? And like for you to minimize his bugbears that he's having with his job is kind of unsensitive just because he earns so much more money. That also can come with other stresses and things like that that he just wants to vent to his friend about. And for you to turn around and be like, oh, that's not valid because I would gladly do all of that for the money you're making.
Yeah, how do you know you'd do that?
Exactly.
You don't know his job. You haven't actually worked his job. I think it's a little, I don't know if there's any assholes here.
Yeah.
A little assholey of this person.
Yeah, I think it's just like
a
insensitive.
Mini asshole. Because I think there's... Like, I understand the kind of jealousy or, you know, obviously when it's like someone like, let's say that you're like obese and your friend that's like normal size or average size, sorry, not normal, average, you know, weight. I'm going to get canceled up in here.
You're going to get canceled right now.
Let's say you are like 300 pounds and your friend that's like 150 pounds is complaining about losing weight. That friend is not, probably shouldn't be complaining in front of you.
Yeah.
Let's be real. But at the same time, you know, they have their own insecurities. They have their own issues. And like, you know, maybe they're, whatever it is, like maybe they come from a family that, you know, that wants you to be fucking stick skinny.
Exactly.
So they might complain to the person that's even more overweight. And then that reads as obviously like insensitive to the person that's overweight. So it's like a similar situation where it's like somebody that's, you know, super fucking rich, but just like, like you said, that just because somebody's making a lot of money does not mean that job is sunshine and rainbows and fantastic.
Exactly.
And you're like, this person probably is working fucking hard. If they're making that much money, they might be working really long hours. They probably can't take any time off. Their job is probably really high stress and high pressure environment.
Exactly.
So you don't know that you would take that fucking job. Like, how the fuck do you know that you would like that fucking job? You probably would be complaining the same way.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like you shouldn't minimize somebody's experience just because like they're in a different situation than you, right? It's like, someone's that's like, you know, just because they're supremely, like if someone comes from a supremely wealthy family, they're still going to have problems. And it shouldn't be like, if you're sitting with your friend that happens to be loaded and they're like complaining about some stuff with their like parents or something, you shouldn't minimize that and be like, well, you guys are all just loaded. It doesn't matter. Like you can just fucking do whatever you want. Like there are those real problems because like whatever situation you get into, like obviously certain things make things a little bit easier and whatever, but like you're still going to have challenges throughout life. And just because you have more money or less money or you're larger or slimmer or whatever, healthy, unhealthy, like you're going to have so many different challenges and issues. And like, you can't just like minimize someone else's experience just because.
I think my analogy was a little bit off because that's actually worse. Like my analogy would be worse because you're actually saying like, for example, if this person was complaining, the rich friend was complaining about money to this poorer friend, that would be, I think, worse. But he wasn't complaining about money. No, he was complaining about time and how stressful the job is, which I think is valid. I can understand. And this person's saying, oh, yeah, I have no problem with our discrepancy. Are you sure about that? Because it sounds like there's a lot of insecurity on your 100%. End. Like, I understand. Like, obviously, I would also be kind of like, oh, shit, he's making so much more. And that's what you're focusing on. But we don't know how this person's job is. And you might fucking hate this job. Maybe there's a reason he's paying so much or he's being paid so much because nobody else wants to do the job.
Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's like, you're right. He was complaining about certain aspects of his job. Don't minimize that experience. But I could see like if he was going to her and was like, oh, you know, I really, you know, I'm so close to being able to buy this Ferrari. But like, I just need to be making more money. I'm so stressed. And like, you know, like there's just so many bills. My new $1 million penthouse is just like, you know, the condo fees are through the roof and they're thinking of increasing it again. Like, then I'm like, okay, you're a fucking prick.
Then I'd be like, listen, exactly.
Then you're a condo.
I mean, somebody said, soft, you're the asshole because you're not unemployed. Just because he makes a lot of money does not mean he's happy. You're a little jealous of his salary and he's a little jealous of your happiness and free time. That is natural. He was calling you lucky and you acted extremely offended. Why not just say, yes, that's one of the perks of the job that I love, rather than snap at him and compare yourself to someone unemployed. Your response said, you don't have any right to complain. You are loaded. And that is a salary difference influencing your friendship. Yep. Exactly.
Well, and it's funny how she did right in the post though. Oh, it means nothing to me.
Exactly. Oh yeah, the money, it's not an issue. Are you sure it's not an issue? Because you're the one that's bringing it up. He never brought up your salary. He never said anything about your salary. And it's probably true that you get a little bit more free time than him.
Yeah.
And is he a little like, what's the word? Tone deaf? Maybe he was a little tone deaf, but not really. Because again, he wasn't talking about money here. He was talking about his free time.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone said, Let's see. Regardless of being the asshole or not, the lesson here is money isn't even the top 5 things that make a job great. Of course, everyone wants more money, but often the trade-off is time flexibility, and autonomy are far more important than maximizing earnings. And then, let's see. Someone wrote, would you have the same response if you didn't know your friend's salary? I'm betting that while his salary may be cushy, his job is probably really demanding. You sound jealous of your friend. You're the asshole.
Yeah.
And then someone says, sounds like mutual jealousy to me, just different perks for each.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Everything got its pros and cons, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, soft, you're the asshole. Soft, you're the asshole.
I agree, Roses. Okay, guys, am I the asshole for not waking my roommate for his job interview because he's irresponsible? So my roommate had a job interview he wouldn't stop talking about. The night before, he stayed up playing video games until 3 a.m. Apparently, didn't set an alarm and told me, I'll wake up, don't worry. Spoiler, he didn't.
God. He didn't set an alarm?
I know, honestly.
Are you okay?
People that don't set an alarm really rub me the wrong way. So like, for example, I will give you guys a quick example and then I'll finish this story. So my dad does not set an alarm.
Ever,
because he hates alarms. He hates being woken up by an alarm. Now he is good at getting up. Like he naturally just always gets up at like 5 or 6, you know?
Yeah.
And so my brother, he tries to do the same thing because he's like, he also doesn't like alarms. The problem is my brother and then my dad occasionally, once in a blue moon, like once a year, he will sleep in a little bit and then he'll be like late or whatever. And I'm like, that's why you set an alarm. Anyway, but my brother tries to do the same thing. This is when he was like younger and stuff. And he would just like not set an alarm ever. And I'm like, you have to set an alarm because you cannot get up.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't, like actually the funny thing is now that I'm working not now that I'm working, but like because I have a pretty regular schedule now, I'm generally up like around, even if I don't set an alarm, I'm up at like 6:37-ish. Yeah. But I still set an alarm just in case because there are those days where you're like super tired and I could sleep until like 10. Mm-hmm. And that won't be good because I'll be late for work.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely need the alarm. Unless you have nothing to do, then don't set the alarm.
Yeah, like on the weekend, I don't usually set an alarm unless I have a gym or something. But I like to not have an alarm and just like casually get up.
Yeah, it's nice. I would like to do that every day, but you know.
But if I had a big job interview and shit or I had something important,
like, what the hell?
You fucking set an alarm. Actually, you don't just set one, you set multiple.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so I got up, saw him still asleep 30 minutes before his interview and decided not to wake him. I figured if he can't handle...
Sorry, continue.
This is actually kind of funny. I just love the spoiler. He didn't. Yeah. I got up, saw him asleep 30 minutes before his interview and decided not to wake him. I figured if he can't handle setting an alarm for a life-changing opportunity, it's not my job to save him, and that he will need this as a lesson. He missed it and is blaming me for not having his back. I told him I'm his roommate, not his mom.
Oh my God. Are they friends? Are they just roommates?
I don't know. It just says roommates. So I don't know if they're actually like friends.
I mean, a little assholey.
I think it's a little assholey.
Like I get it. Like I understand the frustration. Because I would also be like, what the fuck, man? Like fucking set an alarm, bitch. But at the same time, like you were up already. Like you're kind of acting like his mom by trying to give... It's ironic that you say you're not his mom, but you're kind of acting like his mom by saying, I'm trying to teach him a lesson.
Exactly.
Like, this is your roommate. This is not your child.
Exactly.
Like, you could have done him a little favor. Maybe he would have learned from that. I don't know. I probably would have... I mean, is he a fucking dumbass? Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's his that's his life. I mean, if I was living with someone... Unless I fucking hated them, then
exactly.
I'd be like, fuck that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. But if you're like living with someone and you knew, like, even if they're not like friends, but you know something's important and you happen to be like, well, and I don't know why he would notice because like a lot of the time you just have your door closed. So you might just assume that they're gone or whatever. So you might not even know.
Yeah.
But obviously maybe
they're like college roommates.
That could be
like
it.
Same dorm.
That's what I'm thinking because like normally in a house, like
you wouldn't know. Because
like think about it. Like when we like flat shared in London, like I wouldn't know necessarily if Rose was up or not. And I'm not about to like bang on her door and be like, hey. So then in that situation, I wouldn't do anything. But if I legitimately saw somebody like sleeping and it was like, hey, you actually did have an interview in like 30 minutes, I would just like wake them up and be like, hey, your interview is coming up, man. Like you should probably try to like get there.
Yeah. Like I get that it's annoying, but at the same time, like, come on.
Everyone sucks here.
Yeah, everyone sucks here.
Yes, your roommate. And I also hate when people are like, I got this. Don't worry. Of course I can get up. I played video games till fucking 3 a.m, but I got this. I'm a man. I'm not gonna set an alarm.
I would just wake him up and be like, dude, are you fucking serious? Wake up. You have a fucking interview and you have to buy me fucking beer if you get this job.
You owe me.
I just fucking woke you up for your fucking interview.
It's so funny. So it goes, everyone sucks here.
Yes.
Yes, your roommate should have set the alarm. It is their responsibility 100% fully. But you saw that they were asleep and you could have had their back and decided to let them suffer.
Yes.
You must hate your roommate and hope they don't and hope they can't pay their share of the bills. They're mad because they just learned you're a D-bag. They thought you were a friend and you're not. So embrace the new position.
Yeah, you also made things very awkward for you because you live together.
I know.
So it's like, what benefit are you going to get from not waking your friend up or your roommate up? It's like, what is the benefit for you? Like, you just kind of like feel like you're just like a little like, seems like a little spiteful. I don't know if that's the right term. A lot of people are saying
not the asshole.
Really? Like,
yeah.
No, everyone sucks. I'm sorry, but I understand that that's not. This is people that are only on the internet that don't have fucking friends. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but it is just people. I get it. You're an idiot. You should have set an alarm.
100%.
But at the same time,
are you gonna punish someone for that?
Exactly. Like maybe he thought he was gonna get up, and I get that. If you were asleep, then like whatever. But you were fucking awake. You saw him.
Yeah.
He was sleeping, and yeah, he's an idiot. But like, what harm does it do to you to just wake him up? Just be like, hey man, you got an interview. Like you're a fucking idiot. Get up.
It's so bad. So not the asshole at all. Not even a little.
What?
If he was worried about waking up, he could have come to you and asked for your help, making sure he didn't oversleep his alarm.
I love how everyone's perfect.
I know.
I love how everyone thinks they're perfect because... anyway, continue.
Even then, it wouldn't be your responsibility. But at least he'd have taken some measures to be present for the interview.
God.
He didn't even do the bare minimum. I'd start looking for a new roommate situation. This doesn't sound like a long-term solution.
Oh my God, we are so doomed as a society.
I know.
Like, we live in a society, people. Okay, we have to interact with other humans. And this is not the way.
This is just crazy. So many people are not the asshole.
Really?
If he can't be an adult and do adult things, that's on him. You're not his keeper or responsible for him. You're right. It's not the job that will save him if he can't even set an alarm.
Oh my God. Like, again, I get it. Okay, I understand. I think this could be a lesson you can teach him. You could be like, hey, but it's the fact that they were awake, saw him sleeping, and just decided not to wake him up.
Exactly. That's
like,
what the thing.
Again, I'm not saying that he should have like made sure that he woke up so that his roommate woke up. Like,
yeah,
nobody's saying that. But you saw him fucking sleeping.
I know.
You were aware of his interview time, and you just decided to play whatever teacher and give him a lesson.
Parent.
I don't know.
But this is the thing. So like, that's a really good point. Like, for me, if I was in that situation, number one, I wouldn't personally set my own alarm to get up and make sure that he's up for his interview.
Exactly.
However, if I was up and I noticed what time it was and knew that he had his interview at like 9:30 and it's 9 a.m. and he's still sleeping on the fucking couch with like the controller and a half-eaten bag of chips on his fucking belly or something, I'd be like, hey, dude, like your interview's in 30 minutes. Like you should probably get up. You should have set a fucking alarm, you idiot.
Yeah. I mean, I'd only not wake them up if I hated them.
Exactly. If you were like living with someone that you're actually not liking.
But
like that's so mean.
They talk to each other. They're clearly friendly to some extent because they knew
he knew about the interview.
The time of the interview, and they knew that this was like, and again, it's like, yes, the friend also sucks. The roommate also sucks because, like fucking this is your dream job. You're not going to set a fucking alarm. Like, so are you a fucking idiot? But at the same time, it's like, what harm does it do for you to be like, hey, wake the fuck up?
Exactly. It's so crazy.
God, I can't believe people get off Reddit and go outside and meet people.
Like, you need to like realize that there's humanity there.
Yes.
And like, not everyone's perfect.
Everyone's going to make mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes. And you know what? If you're there and you happen and it doesn't cost you anything to fucking help somebody out.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Oh my God. Just fucking do it.
Oh, let's see here.
We got time for one more.
Do we? Let's see. I want to pick a good one.
See, my like actual throat doesn't actually hurt. It's just like, it's fine.
It just sounds like you're dying.
It sounds bad. Yeah. Cause I honestly like nothing is like, it's just more annoying. I'm like congested and like,
Oh, here's one. Am I the asshole for telling my wife I don't care about her dream job because it messes with our family routine?
Dun, dun, dun.
I was gonna do that.
Oh, sorry, Rose. Do you want to do it?
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So apparently, God damn, you be damn. So, throw away because my wife is on Reddit and I don't need this blowing up in my face. Ironic, I know. So
why post on Reddit?
Yeah, why post on Reddit? Do people, guys? we need friends. Go out, talk to your friends, talk to people in real life. Okay? Especially if your wife's on Reddit. Maybe don't post about
Oh my God,
it.
that's so dumb. It's like,
It's a very specific thing.
I know. It's like, oh, you know what? My wife's on Reddit, but I'm going to post it. This is a throwaway account because I don't want my wife.
Because it's not going to be obvious.
I know, because
Like,
your
what the
wife's going to
fuck?
read this and she's going to know exactly.
God.
Oh my God.
My 36 male wife, 34 female, recently got offered her dream job. Her words. It's a position at a nonprofit she's been volunteering with for years. Why are you laughing?
Because she's going to know, obviously.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is so
exactly.
obvious.
Exactly. And she's over the moon about it. The thing is, the hours are terrible. 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesday to Saturday. The pay is way less than her current job, and it's 45 minutes away with no option for remote work. We have 2 kids, 5 and 2. I work full-time from home in a high-stress tech job that pays the majority of the bills. Up until now, she's done school drop-offs. This is going to piss me off, isn't it?
Bros, get ready.
Up until now, she's done school drop-offs, pickups, grocery shopping, dinners, etc. She's always been the primary parent, which is her term, apparently. I help out when I can, but I won't pretend I do 50-50. Okay. When she told me she was accepting the offer, I told her flat out that I didn't support the decision. I said I didn't care about her dream job, which he keeps putting in quotations, by the way, which is obviously, I have thoughts about that.
Yeah.
If it meant our house would fall into chaos. Oh my God, I'm so pissed already. I said that stability matters more than personal fulfillment when you have a family. She got real quiet and said, wow. And since then, she's been cold and distant. She hasn't told the nonprofit yes or no yet, and I can tell she's torn. She says I crushed her and made her feel invisible. For context, she's never been a career-focused person. We agreed sort of early on that she'd work part-time or flexibly to prioritize the kids while I focused on career and providing. Now, there's that word. Now suddenly she wants to flip the script, and for a job that pays less? I don't think I'm wrong for saying this isn't workable for us, but her sister called me a controlling asshole and said I should be ashamed for bulldozing her autonomy. So am I the asshole for telling my wife I don't care about her dream job because it disrupts our family routine? Yes, you're the motherfucking asshole.
Oh my God, so much to unpack there.
Oh.
So Rose, first I want to hear how you feel about the quotation marks.
Well, it's
dream
job. He does dream job. Okay. It's her dream job. She says it's her dream job. It's her fucking dream job.
Exactly.
Why are you fucking putting it into quotations? It means he's not taking it seriously. He doesn't think it's a great job. He thinks it's stupid. Just because you think it's fucking stupid, you fucking asshole, does not mean that it is not her dream fucking job. And
Also,
it's not all about money. Okay?
I know.
It's a nonprofit. Clearly, she's passionate about something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and the thing that I don't understand, so he's saying the hours suck, right? He's like, oh, she's going to be working like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. or whatever, right? Sounds like they have young kids. So I'm like, could you not work out something where it's like she drops them off in the morning, gets them ready for school, does all that stuff,
Yes.
and then you take over, and actually maybe you guys just have to do 50-50 now, and that you have to sacrifice a little bit of your career in order to and not even, maybe you get a childcare, maybe you get somebody to help out. Like, why does it have to be only your career that's prioritized and that your wife cannot
This pisses me off so
I know,
much.
it's just it's so irritating because it's like, it's almost like, and this is a societal thing, right? The expectation, or not the expectation, just like the way it's been for so many years is the man was like the breadwinner.
Yes.
His career, I don't know why I'm doing quotation marks, but his career.
Because he said dream job.
I know,
So we're going to do his
dream
little
job.
career, his little tech career.
Exactly. So basically, I get it. He is earning more money, and he's, paying for the supporting and helping support, but there's 2 of them in this relationship, and there's no reason why, just because it disrupts what you guys had as your status quo before, doesn't mean you can come up with a new norm that works for everybody.
Exactly.
You just have to compromise. And oh my God, God forbid, you're going to have to be on childcare duty in the evenings. Like, they're your kids.
Yeah.
Get over it. And I think it's so frustrating because the expectation has always been like, the man is the one that his career is the most important. His is the one that should be prioritized. The woman, she can work part-time, she can do whatever, but she needs to be the primary caregiver. She needs to take care of everything. She needs to cook the meals, get the kids ready for school. I'll help out where I can.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Where I can though, because she wants,
I can.
Yeah.
I'll help out. This is your kids too, This
I know.
is your house. This is your kids. You are not helping out. You are also like a parent, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying everything needs to be 50-50. I get it. If you're
Yeah.
working a higher stress job, if you're working more hours, I
Yeah.
understand that the other partner can take on a bit more of the load. I get it.
Exactly.
But it says up until now she's done school drop-offs, pickups, grocery shopping, dinners, etc. It sounds like she did everything else.
Yep.
And this person also works from home, and I get it. Like working from home doesn't mean that you're like doing dick all or whatever.
sure.
I understand that, but how different would it be if she was working from home? He would expect her to do all the fucking above.
100%.
Oh,
So I think the thing is too, there's ways that he needs to stop being such an asshole about this, right?
Yes.
There's ways you can make this work, right? Just because the hours are not necessarily ideal. She's going to be gone majority of the evenings, but she's still around Sundays all day, Mondays all day, Monday evenings, all the time and during the day, like the daytime up until like 2. So like, I just don't understand what the big deal is. And it's like, this is her dream job. Like this is something that she really wants to do. And you know what? She's probably had to make sacrifices for her career up until now.
Definitely.
So that you could be a high flying tech person working from home, right? It's like, why can't you give her that justice as well? But it does irk me because like even with like sometimes with my parents, like my dad will do something and he'll be like, "Oh, honey, I did this for you," and it's like, no, it's not for the.
It's like the man. Whenever they do something, it's them doing. They're helping.
Yeah.
They did you a favor.
Yeah.
Whereas the woman is like, okay, that's just the default. Like you're the person that has to do it.
Yeah.
But if somebody else does it for you, they're doing you a favor.
Yeah. Because I bet you guys, and I would pull this to our audience, how many of you guys that have, a man that have heterosexual parents, a man and a woman, how often have you ever heard your mom go to your dad after she's loaded the dishwasher or done some laundry and been like, "Honey, I did the laundry for you. I helped you out." Like I can guarantee it's probably like 0.01%.
Yeah.
And if we flip it, how many dads
Yeah.
have been like done the dishes once and been like, "Honey, I did the dishes for you when I got home."
Yeah. You mean you did our dishes?
Exactly,
that we created together.
Our communal. And you know what is crazy to me is like, I just don't understand because obviously maybe not so much our parents' generation, but like nowadays, quite often people will like live by themselves for a bit or with like a roommate or something before they become in a relationship with a partner. Like, what the fuck were you doing before? Like, who was doing your laundry? Who was doing the cleaning? Like, what were you actually doing? I just don't get it.
This is why they say that like men are happier when they get married.
Yeah.
And women are happier when they're single, because think about it, right? If like either way, if you're both single, you're doing your own shit.
Yeah.
But usually when you get married, there's something, it's probably also the way we were raised. Maybe some of it happens just like we just end up taking those roles without even realizing. But either way, usually even like, statistics say that like women are still doing more of the housework.
Yeah.
So when you're living alone, a woman would just do her stuff and a man would do his stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're living together, all of a sudden the man's stuff is slowly trickling into the woman.
Yeah.
And now he's doing less and she's doing more. So
I beg you people, all y'all having kids, okay?
Yeah.
Because this also happens in households. Because I know, for example, 95 or probably 100% of my friends that have siblings that are like, they're the sister and they have brothers, for example.
Yeah.
Their parents made the girls do all the cleaning, helping, and the boys didn't really get involved. If you have kids, make sure, because this is so important, make sure you get your little boys to do the cleaning, to help with cooking, to equal share of all of that shit, because then that's something that they will think is normal and they'll carry that on with them.
Yes. Because even when I grew up with 2 brothers and even in the household, it's like, I was always helping my mom doing the cooking and random shit. And then while, my brothers were just kind of like, they did do some stuff. It wasn't like fully, but like there was definitely moments where I was like, why the fuck am I being asked to help? And the boys are just sitting there.
Perfect example. Me and my brother versus one of my friends and her sister. Her mom, like I think it was every Saturday or every Sunday, like her mom, her and her sister, they like blitzed the whole house. She like made them clean everything. Me and my brother, we had like chores.
Yeah. It's
but
just,
it was
never
like
expected.
It was my mom just did most of the housework.
No, fuck that.
I know.
No
so I'm
matter
like,
what I have, they will be helping out.
Exactly. So I'm like, guys, it's so important.
It's so important.
And actually, even for me, like, and this sounds ridiculous, but like when I first moved out, I wasn't very good at cleaning because I like never really had to clean that much. Even like the only thing that I was good at doing was laundry because I had to do my own laundry.
Right.
But like other than that, it was
That's
like
funny because I never really did my own laundry when I was living at home, but I did everything else. Like we did dishes and cleaning and stuff.
But I remember when I first moved out, I was just like, oh my God, there's like so much fucking shit to do.
And then you grow up and you realize, oh, that's why my mom was complaining all the time.
Yeah. Especially when you think about that cleaning plus all the like I can barely meal prep and plan for my own cooking. Imagine you're fucking cooking for kids.
Listen, cooking and also like women's jobs like that, especially with cooking, it's like it's so much more than just, okay, we're going to make a meal, because you have to think about what you're going to make. First of all, that's like a lot of mental load.
Yeah.
Second of all, you have to think about what groceries you need to buy, make a grocery list, then go and buy those groceries, make the food, and then like, you know, like it's so much that goes into it that it's like, I don't know. So anyway, let's read some of these comments.
I want to hear them.
This is like a strong, you're the asshole from me. Okay.
And also strong from me.
Yes. Someone wrote, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
It's not that you're wrong that the job won't work out for your family. It's that you didn't talk to her like an adult and didn't acknowledge that you're asking her to make a sacrifice for the sake of your family. This is the thing. It's like he immediately just said, no, I don't support your decision. It's like, okay, am I a child? Are you telling me no? Like, Are you fucking kidding me? Why are we not sitting down and having a conversation as a family?
And about how it could work and maybe like strategize and plan.
Yeah. He said, I don't care about your dream job. It's not something that you say to someone you love. You would have gotten so much further with something like, wow, congratulations on getting the job offer. I know that you would really love doing that. I'm just wondering how we can make these hours work. We've discussed over the years, we rely on my job financially, and I don't think it would work for my job to do all of the after school parenting Tuesday to Friday, because that would mean I would have to stop work at 4, blah, blah, blah. Do you have any thoughts on how we can make it work? Yeah, like
exactly, like brainstorm ideas. Yeah. Like maybe between the hours of when the kids get back from school until like 6, if he usually works till 6, you get a fucking nanny or something.
Exactly.
Or you have somebody there and then he takes over at that time. But you know what it sounds like to me? Sounds like he's fucking lazy.
Yes.
And he's one of these guys that, he has a high stress job, but like he feels like
do anything else on top of it.
Exactly. As soon as he's done his job, he expects his meal on the table, kick his feet up, and expect everything to be done for him. He probably doesn't even put the kids to bed. Probably just
Definitely
like whatever. So I'm like, you need to pick up some of the slack.
He just doesn't want to lose his little position as I just make more money so I don't have to do fucking shit all.
Exactly.
Like, fuck off. Someone said, you're the asshole. Dear God, dude. Are you like this at work? Do you tell your coworkers, I don't care, and then berate them? You told your wife she didn't deserve to be happy because you made the mistake of because she made the mistake of breeding with you. You are capable of acknowledging her happiness and excitement in the moment and then bringing up the concerns about the commute, childcare, and income. She's going to miss out on an opportunity she wants because of other priorities. That's sad for her. A partner offers comfort, not belittling. That's the thing. It's like, first of all, I would like some details on your job and how difficult it is, because I don't actually believe that it's that challenging for you to take care of the children that you made together.
Exactly.
Like, again, I get you can have a conversation. You could be like, oh, I don't know. That's feasible. I don't know if we can afford daycare, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you didn't even try to have a conversation. He said, and I didn't like him saying, oh, provide. Oh, I'm providing. She still fucking works.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not making the exact same amount of money as you, but she's still fucking working and taking care of the kids. Okay, do you know how expensive childcare is and a nanny is and a fucking maid or whatever is?
Yep.
It is so expensive. So the amount that she's bringing is arguably more than what you're fucking bringing to the table.
Yes.
Because if you have to, like, if you were divorced and you had to fucking pay for childcare, guess what? All of a sudden, you realize like there's so much invisible labor that goes into.
Exactly. And also to that point, if you're divorced and you guys have a 50-50 custody agreement, you're going to have to watch the kids 50% of the time anyway.
Exactly. So get your shit together.
Yeah.
And it's funny how like a lot of women, when they divorce, because again, this is like an issue with, even right now with parenting and how a lot of it falls on the woman. And, when people divorce, it's like a lot of women realize, oh, actually, I have more time on my hands.
Yeah.
Than when I had another partner, because they weren't putting in the effort. Exactly.
They're like, oh my God, there's, I get 50% of the time when I don't have the kids, I don't have a man child, and I'm there by myself and I can actually enjoy some free time. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I feel bad for this person.
I know, me too.
This woman. Because
I hope your husband comes around and he gets behind you, but it sounds like he's a bit of a dick.
Well, I hope the divorce goes well.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Take him for all he's worth.
Yeah. And on that positive note, that comes that brings us to the end
of this
episode.
Yes.
Guys, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platform.
Yep.
And of course, make sure you check out our YouTube memberships. And what else, Daniel?
And also, or check out our Patreon memberships as well, guys. You get exclusive content. You get exclusive content.
Ad-free content.
Ad-free content. You get an episode. The episodes come out a week before everyone else, and yeah, it's just a little community over there.
Yeah, join us, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.